I'm going to talk now about connecting power. So there's two parts to power when you're running a flight controller, typically. Some very small flight controllers used on, for example, quads or copters and things like that can have their onboard power management. But most flight controllers, especially for planes and these kinds of things, have one of these, which is a separate power distribution board. And sometimes in a quad, this will be arranged in a stack with the flight controller on the top and then the power distribution board underneath. In a plane like this, it typically comes like this. And what you have here is 3 wires. The first wire is going to be battery input. So the battery will go in there. The second wire will go to the ESC. The third wire is how the flight controller is connected to power. And this does 2 things. One is it's power. This will power the flight controller. All of the control circuitry, the IMUs, the gyro, the built-in barometer, all of those things on the flight controller will be powered through this. The other thing this does is power monitoring. This will monitor the battery voltage and the current draw on the battery, and will then feed that in telemetry so that you can actually see that on your transmitter or on your ground control station. So this does a lot of important things. Now, this is one of the questions that I had.
Tom, whereas Dick had the teacher's approval.
On my YouTube channel about people saying, well, I'm not really sure I understand how the power gets connected. So this is how that works. On this Zealot H743 flight controller, there's actually 2 power inputs. Power 1 on this side and power 2 on this side. And they both have the same, I think it's a 6 or 7 pin JST connector with the clip. You don't need 2 for a normal configuration, a normal installation. Typically 2 would be for some kind of power redundancy setup, or on a quad where you, for example, might have separate power. Sorry, on a quad, when I say quad, I mean a quad plane or a VTOL, where you might have separate power for your lift motors and different power for your forward motor. So I don't have that. In this case, we're keeping it simple. Power 1 will go here, and that is quick and simple and easy to do. Let's just plug the power connector in here. I think you can see that. Just going to make sure you can see that really nice and clearly. That plugs in here, and the JST-GH connector clicks in. So that clicks in now, that's nice and solid. Okay. Now what I have done with all of the leads that come out of the box with the Zealot H743, they're basically the bare wires, and all I've done is just twisted them and then taped them up so that they'll be nice and tidy inside, but they also won't come untwisted. All right, so here's our power distribution board. So that's step 1.